The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a major tourism company welcomes a new CEO who has big sustainable goals for the industry. Melbourne Cup fever hits the south, with many punters dressing to the nines for race day in Mosgiel and beyond. And Gore puts 40,000 tonnes of gravel to good use, creating a first line of defence for future floods. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. The former CEO of the FIFA Women's World Cup is being appointed to the top job at a Queenstown-based tourism company. Dave Beach is revealing some big goals for the resort town, with a focus on sustainability and conservation.
Central Otago's tourism giant has a new man on the block, as David Beach takes on the role as chief executive of RealNZ. Beach will take up his new job in January after 15 years' experience in delivering world-class events, including this year's FIFA Women's World Cup and the Queenstown Marathon. His goal is to continue growing the large tourism company in a sustainable way, and says he wants to use RealNZ's position to help the world fall in love with conservation.
Bring tourism back in a way that is sustainable and regenerative is obviously a hot topic among the sector, and so RealNZ as a leader in the sector is going to have a big role to play in that.
He's also keen to continue work decarbonising Queenstown's historic TSS Earnslaw steamship. The plans first announced in 2021. The idea to switch the 111-year-old boat from coal to either wood pellets, biofuel or hydrogen received some backlash.
I think we have to preserve the history of the Earnslaw, there's no doubt about that, but we also have to find a way to reduce its carbon footprint. So quite what the technical solution is, I'm not sure yet, but there'll be an answer there.
And he admits one of the immediate challenges he'll face in the role will be the ongoing housing crisis in the resort town, with extra work required to attract and accommodate the large workforce the tourism company relies on. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A two-vehicle crash closed off a busy Dunedin road earlier today, causing traffic delays during the lunchtime rush hour. Emergency services responded to the crash between a car and a van near the bottom of Tyree Road at around 12:15 on Wednesday afternoon. The collision caused no serious injuries, although major damage was done to the front of the van. Extensive clean-up work meant the road was closed for more than an hour. The section of Tyree Road was reopened again around 1:30 p.m. It was a big day for punters across the south yesterday as the Melbourne Cup race stopped workplaces across the regions. Some Dunedinites dressed up in their finest attire for a day out at a racecourse more than 2,000 kilometres from Flemington.
Bringing a splash of colour to the ponies as punters dressed up to the nines for one of the biggest days on the racing calendar. A large crowd made their way to Wingatui Racecourse in Mosgiel for Otago Racing Club's annual Melbourne Cup Day. But for some, it wasn't just about racing. 25 glamorous entrants put in an extra special effort for the Fashion on the Field competition, which saw colourful fashionistas strutting their stuff on the makeshift runway. And they didn't make it easy for the judges. Wanaka's Joe Lewis eventually taking out the top prize in a pink and blue ensemble which paid tribute to her late father-in-law.
To do this in memory of Doug O'Neill, who was based here in Wingatui for many, many years and was a very well-known New Zealand horse galloper trainer.
Right.
However, the horses weren't too bothered by the fashion show. Alongside the racing in Melbourne, there were 9 local rounds of races on the Wingatui track. Jockey Kate Hercock made a successful mad dash for the finish line on her horse Good On Ya in the headline Grand Casino $50,000 race.
Yeah, he's just a horse that gets back. The speed was on and just get back. Paul wanted me to come out around them, but I managed to sneak a one in and away he went. But no, nice finish.
And while there were some successful bets placed on the Melbourne Cup race, there were many more disappointed punters. Winner of the Fashions in the Field competition, Joe Lewis, will get to represent Wingatui at the Auckland Cup next March. In Mosgiel, the South Today.
And while there was racing in Queenstown, that didn't stop people from getting into Cup Day spirit. One local pub was filled with fancy hats and colourful dresses as risky bets were made on the big horse race.
It's a big afternoon on the racing calendar as Queenstown's Pig and Whistle Bar and Restaurant joined others around the country in hosting a Melbourne Cup party. It's a time when non-racing fans suddenly become experts in horse racing, with many here placing bets on their favourites.
I bet on Serpentine.
Gold tip. Did you win that one? Gold tip to win.
Number 5.
Number 7. Number 3.
Number 5.
All of that.
All eyes are on the TV just after 5 p.m. as the 23 jockeys and their horses left the stables. And after just a few minutes, number 3 without a fight crossed the line at Flemington, jockey Mark Zora winning his second Melbourne Cup in a row. Many of the Queenstown punters were left disappointed with their betting choices, while a handful ran off to double check whether they were in the money.
It's really sad times here at KJet right now. We've not won, but look, we're having a great time, so woo!
You got it. He reckons he's got it.
Try pick
On
some
a
pay.
syndicate, he reckons he's got it.
And racing fans have a chance to try and win their bucks back with the New Zealand Cup at Addington on the calendar next Tuesday. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A couple of South Island businesses won big overnight at this year's New Zealand Tourism Awards. The winners were announced at a gala dinner in Wellington at the city's new convention centre.
Skyline Queenstown won the Tourism Excellence Award after a multi-million-dollar project which saw the company upgrade its popular gondola attraction. 36 old 4-person cabins were replaced with new modern 10-seater gondola cabins, providing more capacity for tourists and a faster ride up Bob's Peak. Another Queenstown business, Altitude Tours, won the Visitor Experience Award. The tourism operator offers premium tours to some of the region's most iconic locations in a small group setting. Co-founder Heidi Farron also took out the Emerging Tourism Leader title. And in Canterbury, Christchurch Airport claimed the Tourism Environment Award. Judges said the company's positioned itself as a leader in airport climate leadership, influencing how the aviation industry globally is transitioning. Former CEO of Christchurch Airport Malcolm Johns won the Outstanding Industry Leader Award. Across the South Today.
Flooding across Southland in September put a huge strain on riverbanks, but a newly completed project in Gore is hoping to improve that situation. Environment Southland has been working on plans to better prepare the town, creating a first line of defence for future floods.
This unassuming pile of dirt and gravel could make all the difference in the event of a weather emergency. The new stop bank has been completed in Gore, with the 500-metre long structure running along the east side of the Matoda River between Ontario and Toronto streets. Project engineer Lee Mutton says the stop bank brings East Gore up to the same standard as the rest of the town's flood banks and replaces the old concrete flood protection wall.
So this embankment was built in just about 5 months. Right through the winter, which was a real challenge for the contractor. They did really well to work with difficult materials to put it all together in difficult weather conditions.
And the torrential rain and flooding didn't help the major project, putting Gore into a state of emergency in September this year. The new embankment was built using 40,000 tonnes of gravel from the Matoda River, which brings extra benefits to the project.
Pulling that material out of there allows better conveyance of floodwaters through the Matoda Gorge and reduces the material cost of a project such as this.
High-risk trees were also removed from the area earlier this year, with work on stop banks in Wyndham and Invercargill set to resume shortly for the summer construction period. In Gore, the South Today.
E whai Yakane, still to come on the South today. Small town Kaitangata becomes a hive of activity as V8s roar into town. And a Christchurch dance group casts the net wide for new recruits for a unique kind of movement.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Such a sweet girl. What are you dreaming about?
Just music.
The Power of Dreams by Honda.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A South Otago town was filled with the rumbling sounds of V8s over the weekend. The 11th annual Kaitangata car show and run roared into gear in the spring weather, treating enthusiasts to an array of automobile antics.
It's not often you see hundreds of V8s on a rugby field, but once a year in Kaitangata, these grounds become a car park. The Kaitangata car show and run skidded into action on Saturday, attracting a variety of vintage cars to the small South Otago town. Around 400 spruced up and antique vehicles filled the Crescent Rugby Club grounds, with Bruce Smith's modernised 1948 International hot rod standing out from the rest.
It's called a scratch build because of the content on it and what's been modified on it. There's a lot of bookwork in it to get it to this stage, but it's passed.
Smith found the classic ex-army truck near Roxburgh and spent more than $50,000 over 3 years, giving it a new lease on life.
So I'm really happy and I'm blown away by the response here today.
Organisers were pleased with the success of the 11th annual Kaitangata car show and run, with all proceeds going towards local community groups. In Kaitangata, the South today.
A Christchurch dance group is looking to recruit new members for their special brand of outdoor freestyle dancing. The energetic dancers meet weekly at Linwood's Tiny Shops Village, just trying to shake off the winter blues and have fun dancing.
These tiny dancers are letting loose and promoting a fun way to stay active and improve their physical and mental well-being. The community group meets weekly at the Linwood Tiny Shops Village on Stanmore Road. It's a collection of small buildings which host community-led activities, workshops, shops and a cafe. The freestyle outdoor dance sessions began recently, and organiser Russell Gray says they're looking to recruit new members no experience at all required.
Basically, this has been set up for the community to bring people together to just dance, to have a boogie.
Gray reckons his unique style of dancing was born on the 80s dance floor.
It's very just sort of spontaneous, just sort of pick up moves over the years, and there's a bit of Michael Jackson in there and just general freestyle and other things. I've also been getting into Latin dancing, and I've kind of created sort of a hybrid.
Gray shot to fame, or possibly infamy, on the last series of TV's New Zealand's Got Talent in 2012.
I just got up there and I just danced as I do. I didn't choreograph anything. I just had a boogie, and hopefully I was hoping that would be enough, but they were looking for something a little bit more professional, I suppose.
He insists his freestyle type of dancing went down well with the audience, and says he had fun despite getting 3 big no's from the judging panel.
I got to dance with one of the judges, Rachel Hunter, so that was a really, really good thing. And then they invited me in for the last show as well, and we got to do Gangnam Style.
Open Gangnam Style.
Gray is hoping the warmer weather over the summer period will encourage more dancers to join them as they boogie the night away. And as the saying goes, dance like nobody's watching. In Christchurch, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Dave Beach is named as the new CEO of tourism company RealNZ with big sustainable goals for central Otago. Punters across the South celebrated Melbourne Cup Day in style at Wingatui Racecourse and Queenstown pubs. And a new stop bank's being built in Gore, protecting the town from river flooding and extreme weather events. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome editor Paul McIntyre. Hello, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
Now, what have the team been working on? What can we expect to read in the paper tomorrow?
Plenty tomorrow. Aged care is screwed financially in the South after statistics reveal a significant decline in profitability.
Right.
Residents of Franz Joseph are in disbelief of a suggestion that they should remove the F and have a PH instead.
Okay.
In Franz Joseph, yeah, I know. So that'll be well read tomorrow. And also, sorry, I've got to say the intro, it's so bad. Heard about the cow with triplets? It's no bull. So when George Hope brought beef and cows and calves off his hill block for calf marking, he found a very rare sight, triplets.
Okay. Really look forward to reading tomorrow, Paul. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, well, prepare for another cold day tomorrow with southerly airflow easing. Then high pressure will move over southern districts on Friday with a warmer northerly airflow developing from Saturday. Heading to the top of the South Island, super light southwesterlies and showers are inbound up north with 14-degree highs in Nelson and Greymouth, while Christchurch is dry but cloudy with 13 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, it's looking cloudy, cool and windy here tomorrow, up to 13 in Ashburton and Timaru with 12 degrees expected in Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Patchy cloud with southwesterlies over here with highs of 14 degrees in Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra tomorrow. Heading further south. Expect a fine day with light winds through these spots tomorrow, up to 13 in both Gore and Balclutha, and a showery 12 degrees is heading towards the Catlins. Across to Invercargill. Cloudy with a few showers and a low of 5 degrees tonight. Tomorrow still a bit showery with cloud about and light southerlies with a cool 13 degrees. But it's on the way up from Friday with fine and sunny conditions, bringing the high to a warmer 16 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Cloudy tonight with southwesterlies as it drops to 7. Thursday will be overcast with a few light showers in the morning, but it looks dry across the afternoon with a high of 12. Then Friday's fine and sunny with northeasterlies and a top temperature of 15 degrees. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, or follow us on Facebook. Search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.